Hi guys, I just wanted to give you a quick rundown on my experience with Claire from Bubba Sleep. So I started using Claire when my baby was about 7 weeks old. He was cranky, cried all afternoon. He would be asleep for hours, awake for hours on end, and I just could not get him to sleep during the day. And I was really starting to just dread every day because I was like, what am I going to do with this baby all day? He will not sleep. Anyway, within a few weeks, about 3 weeks of working with Claire, I had my baby mostly self-settling. I was lucky that he found his thumb and would suck his thumb. But even if I did have to pat him to sleep, excuse me, he was sleeping for all of his day naps most of the time. Of course, every now and again you'd have a day where it would just all turn to crap, and that's normal because he's a baby. And his nights were pretty great as well. So he's only been waking once a night since a couple of months old at about 5 a.m. Now he's 6 months old and he self-settles most of the time for most of his sleeps, and we're in a really good routine. So I have a very predictable day and a very predictable night, which suits me perfectly. So Claire has guided me through all of that. I always say it's a lot of hard work on the parents' side. So Claire is an awesome support person. She'll give you things to try, but the thing is that if you don't try it and stick with it, it won't work. So we went away to Sydney a couple of weeks ago, and of course the routine sort of got thrown out, so it took a bit of work to get him back into his routine. And since then there's been a 3:30 wake up that he never used to have. He used to sleep from 6:30 right through till about 5. So I was getting up and feeding him, and then I rang Claire and I said, look, this is what's happening. She said maybe he needs more solids and maybe he's hungry. So I've increased his solids as Claire suggested, and the next night he slept through till 4:30. But then the next night it was 3 o'clock again. So Claire said to me, look, if you get him to self-settle and you leave him, you're not asking him to do anything he can't do. She said that to me a while ago. So at 3:30 in the morning the other night, he woke up and he was just whinging a little bit and talking, and I thought to myself, I know you've had enough food. And I thought of Claire saying, you're not asking him to do anything he doesn't know how to do. So I left him just whinging and, you know, not crying, a little bit of whinging, and then he'd go quiet a bit and then he'd talk. Anyway, that went on until about 4:30 in the morning. And I almost freaked out because I thought, look, if I just get up and feed him, I know he'll go back to sleep till 7. But I left him and he went back to sleep until about 6:30. And then last night, so the second night, I heard a little peep from him at 3:30. And that little peep only went on for, you know, a couple of minutes this time. And now he's still asleep in bed and it's almost 7 a.m. So the thing is, a lot of it is luck, the fact that I do have a baby that's very responsive to treatment and to whatever the gentle settling techniques are that Claire's given me. But also you have to be willing to try, because, you know, it's scary to think, oh, this could end up with an early wake up and my day could start at 4:30. But with a bit of luck and the right techniques, a bit of hard work and a few days of hard work, and your baby will sleep through. And also we got rid of the dummy at 4 months, which I remember saying on the phone to Claire, there's just no way he'll sleep without it. Like I couldn't get my head around it. And she just said, look, you've just got to try it, be prepared for 3 days of torture. And it only took 1 day and he's off the dummy. So I just think that Claire is amazing. She has gentle settling techniques. We never had to do the cry it out. And if you're willing to risk it for the biscuit, follow exactly what she says and have faith in your baby, you can do it and you can sleep all night. It feels so good. Thank you, Claire. You have been the best decision we made for our family. Love you lots.